Hey y'all, Mike with Cardboard Kingdom. We're back with another Disney Lorcana market update video. Today is the 8th of July. Fresh off the set championships this weekend, fresh off the Lorcana Challenge event in Germany, fresh off a lot of hate coming from the Alpha Investments community. It would appear my video that I made in response to Rudy's video got a lot of views, which is kind of crazy. Obviously, my videos don't really get a lot of views. I'm not really trying to be a big YouTuber, if you will. But I did get some interesting comments, which is always fun. I always get a kick out of these. We got Mega, Mr. Chips says Lorcana is for babies. We have Refunded Replay, Lorcana is dead. This person we ended up having a pretty good conversation. That was fine. Ravensburger sucks, and if you think anything else, you need a reality check. So just some interesting comments that came in from my video about Rudy. And look, I mean, since Lorcana's dead, I figured we can go out, pick up some of those Amazon dumps, maybe get into some cheap events that are a couple months out that are on sale because no one's playing the game. It's dead. We've eliminated the LGS. We're going direct to market and offloading all of our product in terms of Ravensburger. So let's go buy some $98 Into the Inklings booster boxes that went on sale about 4 days ago. And then let's go to some events. Since they're dead, we should be able to get in pretty cheap. Honestly, they should probably pay us to go. Let's go pick up some Into the Inklings booster boxes here. Looks like 106 on TCG Player, eBay 115. Interesting. Okay, we have a scam site there for 65. Forge and Fire for 119. StockX 112. That's all right. We'll go straight to the sale on Amazon. That's where we're dumping anyway. Oh, it's 114.75. It's $25 above distribution. What the heck? I thought Lorcana's dead. I thought all these Amazon dumps were happening. I can get a used box for 97. That's one way to do it. 6 in stock there if you want to go that route. But a brand new box, 114. How many can I get? I can only get 12. I can get 3 cases at 114. I thought we were dumping. Crazy. That was 4 days ago the sale started. What happened? All right, now we're on to the event. All right, so we know Dallas is sold out. The challenge event that's coming up here in a couple weeks. A couple months out though. You look at Toronto. You're at August 24th, 25th. Dead game should be fine. Get just an attendee, right? The main event's sold out, but figure we can at least attend the event. But it looks like we have to join a wait list for that too. We have to pay to be on a wait list to even attend the event, let alone play. That's been sold out since it launched. But even to get in the doors, it's sold out. Almost as if the game isn't dead and we have some really, really healthy market conditions for a game that's not even a year old, that has insane demand, and is in a very, very good place. Just crazy. Crazy how people can get their blinders on and just hate something relentlessly and prey upon its demise, when in reality that's just not going to happen. So pretty funny. I had a good time this weekend reading all of your guys' comments. A lot of people did come to my side of things, right? There's a lot of people who acknowledge that maybe Rudy's just a little bit sour, that he didn't get distribution from Ravensburger because they are very strict on who gets allocations, because they want it to go to LGSs. The exact opposite of what Rudy says, like they're cutting out the LGSs, organized play is going to die, the game's going to die. Ravensburger has had a very strict policy from the start. I talked to a friend in the Pokemon community over the weekend who's had a distribution account. He gets every Pokemon set. He's never had a problem. He's tried to get Lorcana from the start, and he's been told no nonstop because he doesn't have an LGS. He has no way to sponsor or organize play events and run those events. So Ravensburger was never willing to sell, or the distribution was never willing to sell. They have very strict parameters around that, which turns out leads to a very strong player base that sells out events in seconds, has these prize trophy cards, and overall a very successful community. Go figure. But people like Rudy may be a little bit sour that they couldn't get their hands on it. And so then they kind of come out and poo-poo it for really no reason. Obviously, the world of Amazon dumps lasted a couple days, right? And good time to mention, we had a Discord member reach out and give me some expected returns or expected value on some of the booster box cases for Lorcana right now, the first 4. And this is as of yesterday, so keep that in mind. It's a day old technically. And then it does cut out any cards that are sub 35 cents, so those aren't added into the calculation, and it does assume the 1 in 96 odds for Enchanteds, which is what I have always kind of believed, right? Ravensburger, I don't think has ever come out and said that, but the 1 in 96 is aligns pretty well with my pull rate, and I think that's pretty well accepted within the community. But thought it was interesting. As of yesterday, the expected value return of an Into the Inklings box of cards that are 35 cents or higher, based on TCG player pricing, was $115. So if you got any of those $98 boxes that of these, the land of Amazon dumps, were here. If you got any of the few boxes that were available, you can open those boxes and you're probably going to make roughly $20, which is really, really cool. That's like an awesome feeling, especially me as a collector. If I were to open a box, maybe pull an Enchanted and then possibly break even on the rest and like put that alt art in my binder, like, dude, that is like a dream scenario. That gets me giddy to like be able to possibly do that. So just an interesting kind of EV there. You can see your expected return on the first chapter is 206, Floodborn 123, Ursula's Return 86. So this goes in line with kind of if you can get a first chapter box around 205, you're kind of breaking even. Rise of the Floodborn 123, kind of breaking even. Ursula's Return 86, and then obviously Inklings we already talked about 115. So that's kind of the expected value return of boxes as of yesterday. We do have some updates on the sealed front though in terms of Rise of the Floodborn set 2. We are creeping back up to MSRP here, so we're about $8 away from MSRP. Lowest listing on the market right now is $134.96. As of just a month ago, this box was down to like 110, 115, and it is slowly began to creep back up. I'm very interested on the single side is if that's going to start to impact the singles there, because we did see that significant retrace for the set 2 cards. That it was kind of the same retrace we saw for chapter 1. Set 1, but it didn't make a lot of sense because there wasn't a huge reprint like there was for set 1. So a lot of the sheer number of those cards for set 2 that are on the market is going to be less than that of set 1. And so I'm curious to see like the Snow White, for example, a princess from set 2. I think its market price is down around I think there's listings available for like 150 if I'm not mistaken. Which I feel like is just severely underpriced, and like in terms of like what would I buy right now, if this a near mint Snow White, that's light played near mint for 158. Like if you're looking to start your collection or grow your collection and you're looking for something that's a pretty solid buy, I feel like $158 Snow White is a no-brainer. Something that has seen highs a couple months ago of 274. It's now $130, $140 cheaper than that. And a set that wasn't reprinted, and a set that's starting to creep back up as it relates to MSRP. I just think that makes a lot of sense. So that's a card that I definitely feel like would be a great pickup for anyone who's looking to add to their collection. Right now, keep in mind, anytime I talk about buying any of these cards, this I look at this from a very long term view. So I'm not, if it went down to 110, for example, I wouldn't be panic selling it. I would not be concerned about that. And so, I don't know where the bottom is. I can't see the future. If you can, you're a lot better off than me, but 154 seems like a pretty good price. Even if it dropped to, 140, 130, I personally wouldn't be sweating it, because I feel like 154 entry for a princess in set 2 that also is somewhat hard to grade, makes a lot of sense. So that's just my 2 cents on the set price, or the price of set 2 going up, and seeing if the singles are going to kind of act with that. We have started to see the Illumineer's Trove start to decrease. I did try and sell mine, because we did get an announcement that there are going to be some available at the D23 Expo this year. This is a product that was severely underprinted, and one that whenever the restock happened and the reprint happened, this product was not included. It does appear that Ravensburger held some back from the original print, and they have some available for the D23 Expo this year. They said it's a very limited quantity, So we don't really know how much it's going to impact the market and how much is going to come onto the scene. But we do have some available right now for, it looks like the cheapest is 300. It's got maybe a little bit of a damage on this one. Yeah, that was pretty beat up. The lowest near mint's about 310 for a near mint box. So something that, you know, it was up to 330, 340. I think it even hit 350 for a couple sales, but something I think that that still makes a lot of sense. And then for today's video, guys, I think we'll end on the Ursula Set Championship card. This card is, the Set Championship started this weekend. There's some next weekend. I think there's even some after that. So, you know, when I'm talking about these trophy cards and these promo cards, definitely, as always, I exercise not to FOMO into these cards. This card is going to come down in price. Right now, its market price is at $450. When we look at its counterpart, the first Set Championship card, the Stitch, you're seeing a market price of $417. There is no way that this card is going to remain more expensive than the Stitch in the long term or even in the short to intermediate term. This card is probably going to sit, I would say on the high end, I could see it like kind of evening out around like 250. On the low end, I can see it maybe getting as low as like 150 with some of these retraces that we've seen. But this is one that I'll be looking to pick up in a month or two. Once all these Set Championships have flushed out, once everyone who got the card is looking to sell it, I think that that's when I'll be in the market for this card. So I would definitely advise, as I always do, same with the other, you know, trophy cards that we saw, definitely exercise caution here. Patience is a virtue. I think that there's no reason to rush into these cards. We're going to see a lot more of these hit the market. There's 21 on the market already. You can see the Stitch has 53, and that's with a ton of these going into long-term collectors' hands. And obviously, as I've said before, that goes with the Let It Go, Cinderella, and Rapunzel. We've got some significant. Oh, I closed that sheet. We have the Dallas event coming up. We just had Germany happen this weekend in terms of the challenge event. We have Dallas, or I just said Dallas in a couple weeks. We have Toronto coming up. We have Italy coming up. We have Seattle coming up. So as we get to the end of the year here, we're going to have a lot of these challenge events happening, and a lot of the supply is going to be hitting the market for these trophy cards. And so I would say, obviously, long term, definitely from a collector's point of view, alt arts that will be in my collection. I need to wait to get them because prices are going to be coming down. And a lot of the supply is still going to be hitting the market for these cards. So these top 5 cards here when it comes to promos, apart from the Stitch, I think Stitch is a fine buy if you're in the market for a trophy card. I think 374 makes a lot of sense. But the other ones I would definitely exercise caution on. Once again, patience is a virtue. We're going to see a lot more supply of these specific cards hit the market, and it's not something that I would jump into. And that goes same as should have included Dragonfire. I didn't see it down here. Same goes for Dragonfire. I honestly could see this card. This is going to be an interesting card because there are going to be so many available. Right now, it's getting handed out to every person that plays in every of the challenge events. When that's all said and done, that's going to be, I think we said it was going to be close to like somewhere between like 10 to 15,000 copies. So that's just an insane amount of volume. But it's also a very awesome card. It's playable. It looks amazing. So it's like that counterbalance of supply is like through the roof, printed to oblivion. But it's an alt-art. It's like a trophy card. More of a participation trophy, if you will. Not really a trophy card. You don't have to earn it. You just get it by playing in the event. But I'm very interested to see where this one lands. Because like from a quantity standpoint, I could see it getting as low as like 20, 30 bucks. But it's still a special card, right? And so people might want to get play sets of it. Maybe people will buy, 20 of them, right? Who knows? But I'm very interested to see where this lands. It's definitely going to come down from here. I feel very good about that. But where it's going to land in total, I just do not know. But that is going to be it for today's video, guys. The first chapter has remained very consistent as it has. The price, I mean, look, your guess is as good as mine is when this thing is going to creep back up. Every day we see new boxes come on at that like 230 to 240 price point. It looks like the lowest legit box right now from a verified seller Oinker's Island is available for 230, and there's a couple people there at that 230 price. It has continued to get bought pretty consistently. If you think about it, you know, that 206 expected value return, you know, we're not too far off of that. Obviously, a lot of people need cards for their decks, for their set championships, for their challenge events. Chapter 1 still has a ton of playable cards. So I'm honestly happy to see it hang around this price point for a while. There's so many cards that are paramount to your success when you're building a deck from set 1. And I'm glad to see that this is hanging out where people, the expected value is 206. You can get in it for, you know, 215 to 230 right now. Maybe even find some cheaper deals when you look on like TikTok or things like that, to get to where that kind of expected value is there, at that 206 mark. Obviously, if you get lucky and pull an Enchanted, then you're way above that. You pull an Elsa and you've won the lottery. But that's kind of where we're at for that particular box. And then keep in mind as well, just a friendly reminder, do not pre-order Shimmering Skies on TCG Player. That is a loss of money. You're giving money away. And then secondly, if you've been waiting to get your set 2 sealed allocation, if you do want to keep some long term, we're creeping back up to MSRP. There's been no rumors of a reprint. The set has been out for several months now, and it's taken a long time to get back to MSRP. So this is obviously around, well, no, that was the restock that happened when Chapter 1 came out. So we had, you know, the beginning sub MSRP prices. We started creeping back up. Some restock came with the Chapter 1 restock. It dropped back down, got as low as, you know, 120 market, and we're starting to creep back up. So, you know, who knows if another restock is coming, another reprint is coming. I would definitely say there's probably not a reprint since the set has been out for so long. I'd be very surprised to see them reprint it, but you never know with Ravensburger. They definitely want to make sure their players can get their hands on the cards. And with the expected value returns that we're seeing from this box in Chapter 1, definitely still a lot of playable cards in the mix here, and you know, wouldn't be the biggest surprise if we start to see some of these sets get reprinted again. But there's also been no rumors or no reason to necessarily think that would be. Once again, if you think back to the ICV2 interview with the Ravensburger CEO after they did the first chapter reprint, he mentioned that it was a very tedious task. Didn't sound like something they were interested in doing again, especially in the short term. Now, that was in April. We're starting to get farther and farther away from that. It's July now, so who knows what has changed internally for the last 3 months. But at the end of the day, might make sense if you're looking to keep any sealed boxes. Looks like Cards with Michael has 12 here available at 135. And then it's creeping back up to MSRP kind of on this first page here. Still a lot of quantity available though, so not something you need to go out and necessarily get today, just something to keep in mind if you are a sealed collector like myself and do want to have some of this stuff long term. Decent chance to get in right now as it starts to pick up a little bit of steam. So that is going to be it on the video today, guys. Pretty short one, not too much that I wanted to go over. I kind of wanted to just dunk on all the people who said Lorcana's dead when you take a step back and actually use your brain and look at the underlying principles and what Lorcana is and why some people may be salty versus just looking at the factors that make it what it is. You just can't. The people who are preying on the downfall of Lorcana are just so short-sighted. Like, Lorcana has a chance to like bring up the entire market, whether it's Pokemon, whether it's Magic, whether it's One Piece, whether it's whatever it is. Like, the people who interact with the Disney IP spend a ton of money, and this is a chance to get them into Lorcana, but they might venture into other games like One Piece or Pokemon or other IPs that they associate with, but they might get that initial introduction when they're watching, you know, their Disney shows or when they're at the Disney parks or on their Disney cruises or whatever it is. Disney has a chance to do a lot for the entire industry, and some of the people who are just haters for no reason are very short-sighted when they look at that. Not that they have to love Lorcana. You don't have to love Lorcana, but to just simply say Ravensburger sucks, Lorcana's dead, like that's just short-sighted in my opinion. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. We will be back with another one tomorrow. We spent a lot of family time this weekend for the 4th of July. Lit off a lot of fireworks and just got some good quality time in. We're back to our regular grind here though today. And so we'll have quite a few videos coming out here in the near future. Volume's going to be up a little bit while we get back into the groove. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Hopefully you liked the video. Give me any feedback, comments down below on what you'd like to see moving forward, and we will get after it. Talk to you soon, guys.